Well, we start with first things first. We were talking about 8 biblical principles of preventive health. Now, the moment we say there are biblical principles, we have to start with God. Now, you might be an agnostic, you might be a medical practitioner that does not believe in God at all. But I challenge you to actually listen carefully to this section and be surprised to some of the scientific findings that are actually backing up this particular biblical principle, relying on God. Now, the Bible says right from the start, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and in fact, He created you and me. Now, who knows more about how we are made up but our Creator? He knows every single thing, every single detail in our bodies. Now, scientists are trying to figure out about how many vitamins exist, which are the right ratio of minerals that we should be fed with, what is good or bad for us, how the blood is pumping through the body, how disease is actually being counteracted by the immune system. So many questions and so many research done on something that God already knows how it works. Now, I'm not being simplistic and trying to tell everybody to just ask God and He will give you the answer. No, He has given us a reason to think and reason to act and research before us to investigate and to actually delight in His wonders. Delight in how beautiful He has actually created the human beings and actually the nature around us. And we have to acknowledge that the creation is not greater than the Creator. Therefore, in the Health Reformer series, we have God first. Let me share with you something that the Bible shows in the book of Proverbs. It says that a merry heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. Now, what is inside the bone? A doctor will tell you there is bone marrow. And the Bible is saying that a broken spirit, when we are actually downcast, when we don't know where to go, when we feel sad and depressed, our bone marrow dries up. What is the function of the bone marrow? It actually creates blood. The blood that you have in your body is actually created by the bone marrow. So what happens when you are downcast, no hope, no way to go, and depressed? Your blood production gets affected. And therefore, what happens to the nutrients that meant to be feeding every single cell in your body? Well, they get deprived of food because the blood is having a struggle. What happened to the oxygen that you're breathing in through your nostrils and meant to be carried through your whole body to feed with oxygen every cell of the body? Well, those cells get deprived of oxygen. What happened to your brain when it's deprived of oxygen? More depression, more sadness. And it becomes a cycle that repeats itself still deeper and deeper and deeper. Let me share with you a research that was done by Dr. Gregan. He says, although the specific biologic process of a person's cancer is the most consistent factor affecting survival, social support, such as given by a loving spouse, and a faith dimension, such as prayer, are two relatively consistent characteristics among long-term survivals of cancer. What is this quote telling us? Basically, if you have two people, two different persons, they have exactly the same condition or relatively similar conditions. Let's go to name it. Let's go to say cancer, and they go to the same. One goes to one doctor, and the other one goes to another doctor. And one doctor says to the first one, patient number 1, it says, you have cancer, it's all over your body, you're going to die in 3 months. Patient number 1 takes it to heart, as you should say. It goes into a cocoon, depression. Probably he won't make it 3 months. Person number 2 has the same diagnosis. He's going to die in 3 months. He leaves the consultation of the doctor, puts his house in order, takes his wife for dinner, takes the children for fun, enjoys life, does good to others, and he purposes in his heart that the time that is remaining, he is going to honor God and honor man by doing a good service to their neighbors, to his neighbors, and a good service to God, and he's going to rejoice every single second for the gift of life that God has given him. You know, statistics show that that person will probably make it more than 3 months. He will probably make it 5 months. He will probably make it 6 months. I'm not saying that he won't die. I'm saying that even in the quality of death, he is a winner. Let me tell you the story of Dr. Larry Dossey. He declares that I decided that not to employ prayer with my patients was the equivalent of withholding a potent drug or surgical. Now, Dr. Larry grew up in an evangelical circle in what is known in America as the Bible Belt. But soon enough went to university, and he was hit with the different encounters and challenges of university life, and he became a declared agnostic. He forgot about God, or at least he had big marks around him. When he started his practice as a doctor, he started discovering something. He could notice that those that have a strong faith and he had a family, even a church family, supporting them in prayer, were recovering much faster, much better, much happier. In fact, he has seen cases of cancers that all of a sudden, out of the blue, one day were there, a month later, they're gone. And how that happened? Well, let's go to look at the quote again. I decided that not to employ prayer with my patients was the equivalent of withholding a potent drug or a potent drug or surgical. In fact, there's another statistic that shows that if you want to extend your life 7 more years, there's a statistic that shows that to do that, you only need to be a person of prayer. You don't need to change your diet, don't need to change your exercise, don't need to change anything else. But be a person of prayer, and statistically speaking, you will live 7 years longer. Probably, I'm just guessing, but probably as you're praying so much, the Lord will also impress you about changing your diet. Get up and walk. Drink more water. Go outside, have a positive attitude. Okay, so the things will come on the side. There will be a lifestyle change somewhere down the track anyhow. But a statistic shows that to gain 7 years more out of your life, you just need to be a person of prayer, trusting your Creator. Now, in Proverbs 3:5-8 says, trust in God with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. It will be health to your body and drink to your bones. Again, when you trust in the Lord, when you are happy in every situation, praising Him, even in cancer, heart disease, diabetes, any other thing, when you trust in Him with all your heart, guess what happens? It's actually drink for your bones. In other words, what starts happening in your bones? bone marrow. And what is the bone marrow doing? It generates good quality blood. And the Bible actually teaches that when there is